Harish, back to you.
Hello, and welcome to all the attendees and also our panelists for this quick workshop. I am Harish, as you are probably already aware. I'm helping host the hackathon from Angel Hack and also running this show for the next couple of days. And on day one, the first workshop that we have is to help you nail your pitch that you're going to prepare uh, by Sunday. And to help you with that, we have an amazing speaker, Steve, who's the co-founder and also the former CEO. And he has what I got to know is basically he has run multiple businesses and startups and has experience in doing that multiple times. Along with that, he's from the Vietnam Artificial Intelligence Solutions, who have been a great support in running this hackathon with us as a partner. And Steve is going to take you through the journey of how you can prepare your pitch and do the best in the next couple of days. Steve, over to you.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Uh, Hi everyone. It's my pleasure to share with you the how to nail your pitch, and especially in hackathons. So it made me like remember when like 7 years ago when I was in very first hackathon startup, and I was very struggling in building a pitch deck, and I want to put everything in the slide, trying to tell the audience and also the investor almost everything. And after a few competitions like hackathon, so I and also my own startup, my own venture, and have some experience to pitching to investor, and also even pitching with clients, and also with co-founders to hire co-founder. So it's my pleasure to share with you some of my experience. So maybe let's start. Okay, so for the first slide, yeah. So as I said, the goals of creating a pitch deck, especially in the hackathon competition, is not to show everything about your startup. Like the goal mostly is to generate the interest of the audience, and also the interest of the judges, because you want to win the contest, right? And also for some serious startup that who want to have the follow-up meetings, so it's also to be the third goal. Like you have to remember that after the competition, so it's not the end. It could be another follow-up meetings with the investor, or with even with the potential co-founders, right? So please remember carefully three goals. That first is to generate the interest of audience, of judges, to win the contest, and also the get follow-up meetings if you are very serious with your idea. Okay, so next. And I have some highlights to you that the number of slides, the number of slides is only around 10 slides, and try to pitch no more than 10 minutes, because it could be very exhausted for judges, because they have to like listen quite a lot of a pitch, right? And also less is more, which means like you put more numbers, few text, and also with the big fonts. I also use 30-point fonts. And remember the criteria, yeah, because you want to win the contest, so you have to know the criteria. So first is for reset, for this competition, AI technology will account for 30%. Second is innovations. Third is feasibility. Fourth is design, the UX UI, the prototype. And last but not least is the social impacts. Because this competition focus much more on AI technology, so you have to have some slide that prove that your AI technology is kind of like underlying my magic. Okay, so next slide. So the first one is, of course, you need to catch the first impression, because I believe that the pitch deck is also doing the sales, and sales is one shot, right? Which means like the first slide, you have to provide not just a company name, but with some mission statement or some slogans to catch the audience attention, because I think like the first impression is very important. Yeah. Second. Yeah, the second slide, of course, is the problems and also the opportunity. Why I said that problem and opportunity, because some of the ideas is to address the problem, which is the pain that haven't been solved, right? And the second type of idea is like to create better option, which is better opportunity or another pleasure to the target audience. So the second slide is also important because it defines the reason why the audience or the judge need to focus and listen to your idea. Because if you say the problem is not really important to the society, or the opportunity already exists, or the problem is not really huge, or not a pain point, for example, so you will lose the focus. Seen the second slide. Okay, so address the pain and the pleasure. And the third slide is you show the solution, like, yeah, is the problems, and here's my top 3 problems, and here is top 3 solutions, and you show the demo. Yeah, because like one demo is 10,000 slide, I believe. Okay, next. Yeah, and the fourth slide, as I said, AI technology account for 30%. So you have to prove that your underlying technology, secret sauce, or the magic behind your products, yeah, it should be like very concrete, and like even you have to prove that your core engine, like at least you use pre-trained model. I understand that I got some question that you can use some APIs from another startup, for example, another company like Google or Amazon API. But if you can prove that you use pre-trained model, so I believe that the you will have more points compared to the team that only use the API from another like Google or Amazon. Yeah. Okay, next slide. And the next slide is because you have problems, now I have solution, and underlying magic is blah blah, is that kind of core engine, NLP, speed to text, text to speed kind of computer visions. And here is the market that I want to target. Here's the customer segments. Customer segment is like you can not like just a market research is quite huge, but you can like simplify the customer segment, like the gender, age, locations, some behavior, incomes. So I think basic of demographic is okay. And if you can do some homework related to market size or impacts, it's really good, because it means that the problems and the market size is relevant, which is like the problem is huge enough, big enough, that the judge and the audience need to focus on. Okay, so market size and its impact if the solution is commercialized. Okay. And yeah, after you prove that the product market fits, and the judge and also the audience will like ask a question like how you can survive, right? What is your revenue model, and how fast you can collect money. So I know that like people, when talk about business model, people always think about the revenue model, like subscriptions, pay as you go, in-app purchase, for example. But some of the model like B2B, you cannot collect the money fast. Like is the money running flowing to your business, or flowing to another business, and you get just some commissions. And because some of the investor, they really love the startup that have the cash flow is like the money always come into their startup. Yeah, so how fast you can collect the money is also the question. If your business model is like subscriptions or pay as you go, so I think it's quite traditional in that industry. So you shouldn't talk about the how fast you collect money. Yeah, because it's very traditional. Okay, next slide. Yeah, And the next slide is when you define the problems, the markets, the technology, how you can survive, how you can collect money, how you can earn, how you can grow. So you is just a big picture, right? But this slide is to prove that your feasibility. So remember the criteria, right? The criteria is AI technology, innovation, feasibility, which means like if you don't have the go-to-market strategy, so it's not possible, right? At the very beginning. So for go-to-market strategy, you need to define the early adopters, which is the very first customer or clients that can use your products. Yeah, because it's different from the market, right? The market is big picture. The customer segment is very big, like women, age, incomes, for example. But go-to-market strategy means you just target to one smaller customer segment. For example, I just focus on women with higher income and, for example, single mom. Yeah, that's it. Even it's smaller, but they are very early adopter to the products. Yeah, so just select the very small one, and also how to reach them without breaking your money bank accounts, right? Because go-to-market strategy is supposed to be simple and low-hanging fruits. Yeah, next slide. Yeah, so this slide is about competitive analysis. You need to position yourself. This is the two models. So the first model is you compare yourself with the list of competitors and compare with as many as angle as possible. For example, technology, it is like, are you stronger than them? The markets, are you different than them? The price, are you cheaper? Are you like it's more expensive? Or the service, like you provide higher or better customer service than the competitors. So you need to rank. So the first model is to rank. For the second framework is maybe I'm sorry about this, maybe the slide has some problems, but it's the vertical and the horizontal, which is like you only choose two most important angles. For example, I choose quality and price. Yeah, because I define that this one is the most important angles that I need to compare with the competitors. So the first framework is to compare everything, okay? And you rank everything, your company, with a list of competitors. But for the horizontal and the vertical, you only compare two most important angles. For example, mostly compared to the price and also the quality. Yeah, you are cheaper and you have better quality, or you very affordable and like provide the highest quality. Yeah. Okay, next slide. Yeah, and the ninth slide is your founding team. Yeah, and I call it the founder fit. Uh, why I call it founder fit? Because your background should be relevant to your startups. Yeah, I know that even some because you have a team, right? So one is doing business, one is doing tech, and also one is operation or products. But if one of your founders is like fit to the product, so it called founder fits, and also it affects to the feasibility, which is like, are you gonna like make it happen? Because if your team is completely irrelevant to the startup, so like the feasibility could be harder. Yeah, so you need to provide you need to highlight the background and also how you relevance to the products. Yeah, okay, so last slide. Last, yeah. Yeah, and one of the last slide I want to share with you is the key metrics and also the projections. So the key metric is really important because it defines like how to measure your success at the very beginning. Because now you just have one ideas, right? And then the idea is like just coding in just 3 days, right? So the key metric need to be very clear, and I think that you just need to select like 2 metric. For example, if you doing for the let's say the retail, so the key metric like for the like e-commerce, for example, so the key metric like should be the GMV, which is the revenue that coming through your startups, and also maybe the user growth every month, for example. So just select like 2 most important key metrics, because it define your success and also affects to your valuation when you go to the investment, because like it can value your business. It's not just about the revenue, the GMV. Some of startup, they just care about the user and also the user growth. Yeah. And last but not least is the financial or strategic projection in the next 3 years with key metric. So I said top down and bottoms up, because there are 2 types of projection. So top down is like you come with the markets. For example, you say that, oh, the market is like 1 billions, and then I want 10% of that. 10% mean 100 millions USD, and then you break down the from the top, that your target is one, the projection is 1 million, and then you go like top down. And but it's not in the case, because you are just like an ideas and you are pitching. So I believe that the bottoms up methodology is much better, because bottoms up means you based on what you have to project, right? Like now you have just 5 people, and you project that maybe you can grow for the next 1 year, 2 years, 3 year is 20% of your people. And also, yeah, just bottoms up mean based on what you have, based on your achievement, based on your tractions. For example, now you only have 100k USD, so based on that, and you like grow up. Yeah. So bottoms up is much realistic and also easier for judge, because if you focus on top down, like the market is billions of dollars, and I think like it's very like in vain. Yeah, no one understand that. Okay, and next. So there's some additional slide depending on your current status. Yeah, because I know that some of the startup, maybe they already have the products, and maybe they already rolling out to the markets. So just additional slide to highlight and to make your pitch deck more outstanding. So for example, traction is very important, because it shows that you already doing something. I remember that 7 years ago when I was in the hackathons, we built a website just for one night, and then for the second night I already sent it to my friends and asked that whether they want to sign up, and I got like 30% of the conversion rates. Yeah, so it means that the traction is to prove that like go to market strategy, or and also the key metrics, that you prove that the idea is is very feasible. Yeah, also the goals and the timeline. And last is if your products and your team already roll out the products and to the market, and then you can request fundings, and you show that here's the thing, here's the job that I'm going to use the fund for that, for example. Yeah, so some additional slides to make your slide more outstanding. Okay. So if you have some questions, please feel free to ask. And if you have some ideas, maybe yeah, you can raise, and we can practice to make the slide. Yeah, it's not cheating.
Thanks, Steve. Thanks for the really comprehensive presentation, and also outlining the very key points that the participants can use. We have a couple of questions. I'll read them out to you so that you can answer them. The first one is the demo video should be 2 minutes long. What should I include in the video? Demo, business model? It's a little overwhelming for such short time.
Yeah. So that the video should be 2 minutes. So I think I think that the demo, if you can build the products, if you can build the product like after 1 or 2 2 days, and from the day of pitching, I think that you just show your products and no need to make a demo video. I believe that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just add to that. So I think the key is if you are able to pitch it in 2 minutes, then you definitely have done something really good. And at all hackathons, we have this 2 minute rule when you pitch. So in the video that you make that is 2 minutes long, all of these will be easy to include. And in case you are surprised about it, we are here to help you out. So you can reach out to me and I'll help you practice also to how you can include all the points that Steve mentioned and still make it in 2 minutes.
Can I jump in here a little bit just
Yes.
before
Yeah.
we to Steve? So guys, on the website, like if you scroll down a little bit, you will see that we give you a link to a kind of like an example, of how a 2-minute demo video looks like. Yes, and it's possible, for you to do it. We understand that it could be a little overwhelming, but we believe that yes, as a team, you will get it done. And everything that Steve has been sharing so far is actually for you to do your pitch, after you are selected, as one of the top 10 teams after the semifinal round. I hope that's clear for now. Okay, yes, so now we can go back to the speaker. So Steve, if you would like to share anything else.
Yeah, I see some question from Phạm Ngọc Đức, right? For the new ideas, how to get accurate data for the projections. Okay, so as I said, projection, we have financial projection and also the strategic projection. Okay, so if you go with the financial projection, you need to define three things. First is the business model, how you charge the customer, and you have to predict that. For example, the average order value of one customer is like $1, for example, and they can recurring monthly $1 per month. So in one year you have $12, for example, and then you project that how you can get the user, how you can get the user, and from bottoms up, which is like you see that the growth, how you can acquire the user, which channel, for example, Facebook or email or partnership, for example, and you base on that, and normally the benchmark for early startup, I believe that around 15 to 20% month over month. So you can base on that and you do the projection. For example, for the first month you get 1,000 user, so second month should be like 1,200 user, which is like 200 20% growth every month. So the first benchmark is growth rates, monthly growth, right? And you base on that, yeah, and you can base on that, yeah. And also the second thing is about the second thing is about the markets, like the top downs. The top down mean, as I said, you come up with the some kind of statista. You can go go to the statista.com, and it can provide to you quite a lot of accurate data for the markets. Yeah, some of the market, I believe that Statista is very useful. So you just use the top down to see the big picture. Yeah, just to see the big picture. But for the projection, yeah, you need to go with the bottoms up. Okay.
Great. So I'll just read out the next question. Stephen is asking, we don't have a prototype yet. Should we go ahead with the demo video and presentation?
So it means that you don't have the prototype yet, right? But you can show the video demo. I believe that if you can build I'm not sure what type of your products you are building, but I believe that if you have the prototype, it's not kind of prototype like you show the apps. No, because I think, like, for example, if you submit the app to iOS, it takes you like weeks, right? But I think you can build some demo in Figma, for example. Yeah, so you can doing some screen recording, and it's just like, I think, 30 seconds to show that how the user is like using your products. That's it. Yes, I call that prototype. But if you you already have the prototype, so just show in the slide that here's our products, and I'm the user, and here is how I solve the user problems. Yeah.
Great. Participants, if you have any more questions, please feel free to drop them in the Q&A box. We'll be around for a few more minutes to answer any questions that you have.
Or if you do not have any questions for now, you may have questions later on. So as Steve suggested earlier, we may have a little practice for you to start working on the pitch for your product, just in case you are selected to be one of the top 10 teams after the semifinal. So Steve, would you like to lead this session?
I'm sorry. I just read the question of Stephen, and I missed your I missed your question. Sorry. What is the question, by the way?
No, I'm just wondering because earlier you said you could have everybody to have a little practice, like to start working on their pitch. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. I think we can do it, and we have the Stephen question, right?
Yes. Another question from Stephen. Would you love to answer that? Because I think it's related to her previous question, his or her previous question.
Okay, so this is a physical tech product, a smart robot, right? So I think you can you can record the way that your product is working. I think it's possible.
Yeah, let me quickly also jump in to add to that. So for the 2-minute pitch video, the thumb rule that I would have is, number one, what is the problem and the solution that you're trying to achieve? If you can explain that in 30 seconds and then move on to the demo. By demo, I mean showcase what you've built. As I said during the opening ceremony, we were talking about building that one feature that is the USP of your solution for this hackathon. If you're able to show the demo, while showing the demo, you can talk about how this demo solves the problem and also what are the next steps that you want to take in terms of how to take this to the market. You don't have to show a login screen or you don't have to show the basic things, right? Show us the core of the solution that you've built. You still have a couple of days to build that. And then the last is obviously, as I mentioned, the next steps in which you can say, this is the market strategy and this is the target I want to achieve in terms of the consumers. You can mention all of that in the last 30 seconds. So I would say 30 seconds for problem solution, 1 minute for the demo. And while you are showing the demo, you explain every aspect that Steve mentioned. You don't have to say, okay, this is how the robot is walking, because people can see it, the judges can see it, right? So while you are showing the demo, in this case the robot example, you can talk about how you want to take this forward and all the key things that Steve mentioned, and then the last 30 seconds for the next steps as to how this will evolve into a proper product that can go into the market, because at the end of this hackathon, the top 3 teams will work in the incubation program and really build the solutions, right? That's going to be the next step. So including the next steps as the last part is really important. So that's how I would dissect the 2 minutes that you have in terms of how to create the video.
Yeah, and also I think that the product demo, the video demo is don't make it, it's like commercial TVC, right? Yeah, don't make it like the like a TVC. You just focus on the product features and how the features solve the pain, and how the features like make user more pleasure. That's it.
Yes, excellent answers from our host and our guest as a guest speaker. So, any other questions that you guys would like to ask for now, or we can just move on to the practice? Yeah, so Steve, I think like for now, people like maybe thinking like what questions they would like to ask Nick. So would you love to just start the practice session? And
Okay,
then
so practice sessions. Who is volunteer for the ideas, or I use my ideas?
guys, this is your chance, because you don't have much time later to really spend working on your pitch. So take the chance, share your ideas. So maybe for the first one, Steve, I think you can just use your idea and then
Okay.
to give them
Okay.
an.
Okay, so I can use Vice company when we was the very first beginning, when we was very early to enter the markets. Okay. Can you come back to the very first slide?
Sure, just a second.
Okay, so from the slide number 1. No, yeah. Okay, so for the title, I will use like Vietnam artificial intelligence solutions, and also our mission statement is Vietnamese AI leader in for language innovations, which is like we want to focus on Vietnamese language, and we want to provide the speech API platform, and why I have to do that. Okay, so next slide. And the problem and the opportunity, and there are 2 problems. There are 1 problem and also 1 opportunity. The first one is there is no, at that moment, like back then, more than 2 years ago, there is no speech API, speech to text platform at that moment, except for big corporation, for example, Google, Amazon, Alexa, Viettel AI, APPENDIX AI. That's it. So it's a big corporation, and there are some research group in university, so that there is no, the startup team that doing very serious about the speech to text engine, right? So the first one is the market gap. I come from the market gap, the problems, and the second is the opportunity. Opportunity means like for the big corporations, I don't know what is their mission to do the speed to text, because like Viettel, APPENDIX, they have a lot of business units, right? A lot of goals, financial goals, strategic goals, and I'm not sure that they can focus on that technology. So it's the second one. And also Google provide the speed to text cloud on Google Cloud, but it is not specialized on Vietnamese. Yeah. So this is the opportunity that there is a huge market gap that we believe a small startup like us, we can go to the niche markets. And next. Yeah, so the solution and demo, at that time we build the real-time demo, which is like when we talk, we speak Vietnamese, and then it automatically transcribes to text, and the delay is only around 0.5 or 1 seconds. Yeah, and at that time we only have the core engine. We didn't have the product yet, and we think that we think about, oh, okay, so what is the product that we need to use, we need to build, and what is the niche market we need to focus. Yeah, so it's a very tough question. And the very first product that Google, they provide a demo that can transcribe the audio, the recorded audio to text, which means like you have the recordings, you put to the Google, and then you can transcribe it to text with a doc file. Okay, but the thing is like you have to cut the file like from one file to multiple file, because they Google just allow you to upload 1 minute recorded audios. So we see that, okay, so we can build a system that can allow user upload up to 1 hours recorded audios. That's it. And also we can do this is the first features is 1 hours uploaded. Okay, and the second features is we can transcribe real time, which means like when you speak Vietnamese, it can transcribe to Vietnamese text. That's it. And so we have 2 key features. Okay, and that's the solution and demo. Okay, next slide. Yeah, and the secret magic of us is like we have at that time we have the CTO. Yeah, he just finished the PhD related to speech translation, and we focus on the speech to text for Vietnamese. And also we have the academic advisor, which is Miss Lương Chi Mai. So she's very also famous and also very like provide us a lot of like academic advice. So that's why we can build I think that it could be very competitive technology compared to like big corporations. And after that we join the competition called Vietnamese language and speech processing. And 2 years in a row since 2018 we compete the task of speech to text with Zalo, Viettel AI, APPENDIX AI, and we are the winner. We was the winner 2 years in a row. So we proved that our core engine at the moment is the best at the moment, right? Okay, so we did the secret magic. It proved that we have some magic behind the products. And next, can you do the next slide? Okay, so for the market, it's very tough question for us because we don't know which market we need to tap on, because when you own the core engine, it means that you can build like a lot of applications. Yeah, because we have speed to text core engine. It means that we can build transcription products, we can build dictation products, we can build speech analytics products, we can integrate or embed to the offline device. Yeah, a lot of application. And the market, I remember at that time I asked my friend from some big four company, and I asked some reports of the market of speech recognition in Vietnam, and it's like very huge, like 1 billion. So I said that, okay, 1 billion, because it has a lot of like smaller markets, and but we cannot know that what is the go-to market strategy, what is our target early adopter. At that time we don't know. Okay, so next slide. At least I know that the bigger picture, that how our core engine can build a lot of relevant application. So our job now is to pick like one most relevant applications. Okay, so how we can do it. And for the business model is very straightforward, because I learned from Google. So it charged by pay as you go, which is like when you upload audio, one hours, we price quite similar to Google, but we price it much lower. Yeah, and also we optimize for Vietnamese. So at least for the pricing, we are cheaper. Yeah. So and also we will think more about the business model, because we just clone from Google. It's much easier, right? But we need to think more about more business model, like on premise, like on device, like charged by concurrence, charged by accounts, charged by monthly. Yeah, a lot of business model. But at least at the first time, I choose low hanging fruit model is like by the hours uploaded. Okay, next. Yeah, so it's a very important. So after I see the bigger picture, the problems, the opportunity, the markets, the whole markets, and the business model we want to acquire. So what is the go-to market strategy? What is an early adopter? So how to find the early adopter? Yeah, and of course how to reach them is the same questions. So from this slide, you need to go back. First is go back to your team. As I said, the founder fits, right? So at that time, we come back with the founder fits, and we see that what is our strength, what is our competitive advantage that no one can access, right? So at that time, we have the CTO. So he's very strong. I think at that time he's one of the strongest candidates for the speed to text. Yeah. So his personal branding is good at that moment. And second, we have academic advisor. So Miss Lương Chi Mai refers to the Ministry of Technology and also the Ministry of Information, yeah, and Communication. Yeah, so at that time we proposed our solution, and fortunately we was referred to the central committee parties, so which is like the very important office in governments. So we see that, oh, okay, so this is very unique, because like Google, they cannot jump into the government sector, because they will not deploy on premise, which is like bring the model, bring everything, not the source code, but bring everything, the model to the server of the customer. Google will not do it. Yeah. And for FPT and Viettel at that time, we think we thought that they cannot build the products as fast as possible. And also the last reason is maybe the market size is quite small. And for the big corporation, they don't want to touch other niche markets. So they can ignore us, right? So it means that it's just a small alley, but it only has us. Yeah. So that's why we follow the customer, and we customize the solution, and also we change the business model, the revenue model, from pay as you go to the on-premise model, maintenance model. Yeah. So it's how we find the go-to-market strategy, and it's relevant to the competitors. Yeah, you have to list out the angle, like technology, the markets, pricing model, and service. Do they are you willing to customize for the customer? Yeah, because for the B2B or B2G market in Vietnam, one of the key success factor is you are willing to customize, because like big corporation, they have the process, they have their own protocol, and in order to customize, it takes a lot of time. But we are startup, we can move very fast. Okay, next. Yeah, founding team, as I said, is one of the key elements to figure it out, the go-to-market strategy, because it proves that the possibility of the ideas is high. Okay, next. Next slide. Yeah, so our key metric is like how many hours uploaded to the system. Of course, we don't know, because we deploy our engine to the client server, but we met them every month, like even every week, to check that how many hours is uploaded, and how how it like solve your problems. So most of the user which is like they are using our solution. They said that like if I don't use your product, like my life will be suck, because like I have to listen the audio, the recorded audio, like all the day long, and I have to type like all the day long, and it's very exhausted. But with your solution, like the accuracy can reach like 95%, so it reduced like 10 times of our works. Like I cannot live without your product, kind of. So it's one of the key success metric, because they use the product like daily, and if they don't use daily, they're gonna die. Yeah, kind of. So one of our key metric is how frequent, and also how many hours uploaded every day. Yeah, and of course at that time we don't put the money on top of that, because we're doing B2B and also B2G, and the sales cycle is very long. We just our key metric is like, are they are they users like every day? Okay, so next slide. Yeah, and also the last slide is some additional slide. We also do some tractions, which is we won the, can you move to next slide? Yeah, so we at that time we have some tractions, like we are the winner, we were the winner of BLSP 2018. So it's one of our achievement, and then we can sign the contract with one of the critical governmental office in Vietnam. So it's the second achievement. Yeah, and also the current status is we already sold to few customer. Yeah, and also funding requests. Of course, we need to doing some complex work that we have to value our business, and also our visions for the next 3 years, and how much fun we want and how to use it. Yeah, but I think the first 10 slide is much important in this competition, because I bet that most of the ideas is new, right? Okay, so this is how Vice works.
Great. Yeah, participants, if you have any other questions, please feel free to drop them. We still have very few minutes left before we end this. Thank you, Steve, for the walkthrough on the idea. I think that gives a lot of details on how they can probably prepare now.
Yeah,
Stephen
okay.
is asking, I live in Nigeria and two of my other teammates are Vietnamese. Will this be a problem that stop our team from progressing? No, Stephen, I don't think that's a problem. I think that's the perfect fit for the criteria that we're looking for. Ha, if you can answer that. I personally think that's
yes.
perfect combination. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. So don't worry too much about that. Yeah, just like focus on, working together, getting things done within the next, let's say 30 hours left. And yes, and I just want to echo what Harish has just said. I think all of the tips that you have learned from Steve, like this evening, like they're very practical, they're very helpful. And since he himself used to attend like hackathons, so he has learned a lot from it. So it's like from his own experience, not just like theory. So after this webinar, if you have other questions, for Steve, you can find him on Slack as well. Maybe Steve, can you share with them your Slack name so they can reach out to you if they have any questions regarding preparing for their pitch someday?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. I will post in the Slack. Okay.
Yes. Thank you. Yeah, and we so far have received a lot of feedback, from our attendee as well, and most of them, have said like beautiful things about your presentation today. Very, very helpful and very, very practical. So thank you so much, for taking your time to join us. We know that you are very busy, and for giving us such a wonderful presentation. So now, to all of our participants, we all have like 8 minutes left. Take your chance now to ask more more questions, or otherwise we're just gonna, end the webinar here to let you, go back to your team, and then, together work more on your product. Okay. So Ahmed, I saw you raise your hand. Would you love to ask a question? So maybe Ming, could you help us let Ahmed be able to unmute himself and then share something? Okay, Ahmed, would you like to say something? Please go ahead. So Ahmed, we saw that you unmute yourself. Yeah, if whenever you're ready, if you have a question or if you have anything else to share, then feel free. Oh, so we.
Thank you so much for your invitation, and I'd like to thank you from Egypt here, and as I represent my society here, Internet Society, and as I'm representative of the Internet chapter in Egypt, and I'd like to ask you more questions in the future if I have something to update you about myself and about my work here in Egypt. And if you have a chance during these 2 days to tell me more about the project you want and the objective you would like to reach, it will be great for me to fulfill your goal and give you more from my experience here in Egypt. Thank you so much again.
Yes. Thank you, Ahmed. Yes. So just so everybody knows, so Steve is actually one of the judges who will evaluate your submissions on Sunday. So one of our rules is that since he's a judge, so it's not impossible. It's not possible for him to be to also be a mentor. But as Ahmed, you has just brought it up, you guys can always reach out to Steve, to ask for more tips regarding how to prepare for your pitch or about his previous experiences. But if you would like him to give you like feedback or comments on your the products or the solutions that you are developing, then I'm very sorry to say that that's not allowed, by the organizing committee. So just want to make that clear, right? So Steve, I see that you unmute yourself. Would you like to say something?
Yeah. So I think I think I can support you in the slides, and I cannot directly help you to build the decks or doing the mentorships as I'm the judge of the competition, but I'm open, and also I can help you in terms of some of the questions the previous question in this Q&A. Yeah, so I'm open to help via slide. Via slide, sorry.
Thank you. That's wonderful. So now back to you, Harish.
Thank you, Steve, for coming on and sharing your thoughts. And also, I also quickly take the opportunity to thank Vietnam Artificial Intelligence Solutions for supporting us run this hackathon and being a great partner. And with that, we come to the end of this workshop number 1 for today. And I'd like to quickly remind you guys that at 9 p.m. we have an open mic, and we have a performance that will happen at 9 o'clock. And if you are, I wouldn't say if you're interested, but I would urge you to come, because after a stressful day, I think it's a good reliever to close the day for today, and then you can come over with a really fresh mind from tomorrow. So make sure you are finishing your dinner and also coming back on the Zoom call at 9 p.m. The link will be shared 30 minutes before the open mic in the Slack. So keep your eyes on the Slack and also on email so that you know where to come. And yes, with that, we will end this session now, and you can go back to your desks and start coding back again until we start the open mic. Thank you all
Yes.
for joining in.
Just one last thing about the open mic. Thank you, Harish, for the reminder. Is so we invited, one of the top 3 finalists from the Vietnam Idol show a few years ago. He has a very beautiful voice, and he joined us, in our previous hackathon as well. And in our previous, our last hackathon in April, online hackathon, like one of the teams actually, had a rap performance during the open mic. So we'd really love, to have like the contestants to join us this time as well, alongside our invited guest. So yes, look forward to seeing you in the open mic. And thank you for participating in this webinar. And thank you, Steve, again.
Yeah, okay.
All right.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Yes. So goodbye, everyone, and see you in 1 hour, hopefully. Bye, guys.
Okay, bye-bye. Have a good day.
You too.